All right, welcome once again to the Gladiators. Here we go again. Yes, I'm sure you know by now what the Gladiators is all about. The Gladiators, is where we bring up to speed information, but you know what? We bring two opposing sides together. They come here, argue it out on what they believe is right or what they believe is better. Today on the Gladiators, I have with me once again these two great guys who want to talk about something they believe is right. One person believes the other person is wrong. But one thing is, you also have a take on the program. So by you dropping your comment below this comment section, let us always know what you feel about what we talk about on the Gladiators. Now, what are we looking at today? We're looking at Mikel Arteta, the coach of Arsenal. Arsenal, for the third season running, he's ended the season with the second position on the EPL log. He missed out of the FA Cup, he missed out of the Carling Cup, he missed out of the Champions League as he was bundled out by PSG. This is what makes Daniel, my man here, say that Arteta is not a good coach. But Bobola believes Arteta is one of the top class coaches that we have around right now. So what do you make of this? Do you also believe Arteta is a top coach, or you think he is not, just as Daniel believes? That's what we're looking at on the Gladiators today. My name is Pretty. You call me the finest, and it's good to be here again on the Gladiators. I have with me Daniel Adeyemi in the house again, the one who believes Arteta should not be among the people called top coaches in the world. Daniel, welcome.
I mean, it's good to be back again, considering the last time I gave my my guy here some lecture on actually how things are done. And to viewers at home, thank you for the likes, the comments. And I'm just here to just do justice again to another wonderful topic for a very one I believe is actually not worth it. But I'll try my best to make sure I speak.
You heard him. He believes Arteta is not worth it at all to be called a top class coach. But Bobola doesn't feel that way. Bobola believes Arteta should be ranked among the coaches in the world who are doing very, very well. Bobola, it's good to have you again.
Good afternoon, Pretty De-Finest. Good afternoon, Daniel. Good afternoon to all our listeners out there. It's so nice to be here to talk about this particular topic. Last edition of the Gladiators, I schooled him. I made him I made him to understand certain things. You know what? It feels like just talking so loud without pinpointing particular points.
That is personal.
Yeah. But this time, I'm going to give him just points. You understand? Just points. And he's going to learn from it. I'm not just going to argue with him. I'm going to educate him, educate our listeners, and make them understand.
You heard it. You heard what he said. He wants to educate everyone, and he wants to floor Daniel as he believes he floored him the last time. But Daniel doesn't believe that way. So let's go now. Mikel Arteta, do you also believe he's supposed to be ranked among the top class coaches in the world? I mean, let me ask Bobola, what do you think? Because for a man, for the third consecutive season now, he's finished second. Yeah. He had all the opportunity. He had all the opportunities to even battle it out to the last with Liverpool, but he fell short at a point now, as we speak, about 18 points gap between Liverpool and Arsenal, just two games to go. Why do you believe this guy is a top class coach?
Yeah, first of all, I want people to understand that they are what they call world class and there's top class. Now, world class, you must have been doing it consistently. At various clubs, you understand. And I think Arteta at that point in time is still very much young in the job coaching category right now. So I think it's top class. And now what I mean by top class is the second class, you understand? They would get there. They have the potential to get there. That was what I mean by top class, yeah. And right now, Arteta started this whole journey when it means to be coaching the first team 2019. Yeah, it started with Arsenal. Now, before then, when Arteta retired from football, he was offered 3 jobs. First, he was offered the Arsenal junior team. Second, he was supposed to work with Mauricio Pochettino in Tottenham. And the third, he was to work with Pep Guardiola. And these 3 decisions, Arteta decided to work with Pep Guardiola as an assistant coach. which we all know what happened. They dominated Europe. Yeah, even at large, you understand, won the Premier League and all of it. Now, Arteta got his first job. Yeah, got his first job 2019, December to be precise, in Arsenal Football Club. That was when he got his first job. Arteta won his first title in 8 months. Yeah, winning the FA Cup in that spell. And Arteta, since 1986, Graham George was the last Arsenal coach to win a title in his first season, in his fourth season. And ever since then, nobody has answered. And now, just to chip in, the likes of Alex Ferguson in their first season, we're talking about fourth season.
First season.
3 years, 6 months, it took him to win a cup.
3 years,
6 months before he won a cup.
3.5
Yeah.
years.
Even Pep Guardiola that we talk about at this period took him about 8 months. You understand? Arsene Wenger, it took him about 1 year plus to win a title for him. But young, without no experience, just managing Man City as an assistant manager, he won his first trophy with Arsenal Football Club. And now he took the job in the Premier League from they were 8th on table. They finished the season at 8th. Now moving to the next season, what happened? Arteta, they finished at 8th. Then afterwards, that's Arsenal Football Club. They went up to 16th, to 6th or 5th on the table, to be precise. 5th on the table, and ever since that 5th, Arteta has taken Arsenal to 2nd position, which has been consistent there. And now, how do I classify what a top class coach means?
Yeah.
Top class coaches, you must have a top class coach. You must have a strong vision. Yeah. Leadership is key. Yeah. Ability to develop players, and all in total, you must have titles to back it up.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, I want to be fair enough on Arteta getting the job. Fine. Many people can say that, wow, he's getting a big job, like people would always say. But I still think Arsenal Football Club, they were in shambles. The last time that Arsenal Football Club were in the Champions League before Arteta took over was 2015. And now
that was under Wenger, right?
Yeah, Wenger. And within that space, they've had Unai Emery, which my guy would probably say is a top manager. Well, I feel like he's a top manager, maybe not a world-class manager. Freddie Ljungberg. Many people might not know, but when this man was sacked, that's Unai Emery was sacked, Freddie Ljungberg took over on an interim base. You understand? And 2 of them couldn't manage to do that. And Arteta came on board. First season he won the title, and he's been consistent in terms of moving up. Now, what many people might say is, I'm not talking about the fact that he has not won the Premier League. He has won a trophy, fine, and he won it in his first time in office. People might say
you just
that
mentioned, he said first season he won. What did he say he won?
He won the FA Cup.
Okay.
Yeah, he won the FA Cup. And also he has won the Carabao Cup. Yeah, so he has won 2 titles in Arsenal. You understand? Within 5 years, I would say. Now, what I think is, Champions League, the Premier League, it's been consistent. He's been going up. He has never taken Arsenal down. What is left for Arteta right now is number 1. You understand? And coming out to say many top coaches were given so many chances. Like of Alex Ferguson. It took him 3 years, 6 months. And even in the first period, he was in shambles. Manchester United was in shambles. He didn't get it right.
To go back.
No, I'm trying to. These are managers that you call world class.
I mean, you should be done by now.
He was given a long period of time. But right now, for me, with what Mikel Arteta has done for Arsenal within the shortest time of period, fine, he has not won the Premier League. And one thing we need to understand is he will win it one day.
Right?
Thank you.
One day.
Because he has been moving up from
right.
5th. He took them to the Champions League. That's qualifying 4th. And ever since then, he's been moving.
But he spent 6 years,
All right.
It doesn't matter.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
It cannot be done. We just want to ask you why you think Arteta should not be ranked as a top class coach.
I mean, he started off by saying potential. Because when you call someone a top class coach, you don't say potential. It's not the same thing. Potential is someone that is imagined. If you are ranking Arteta as a top manager, you're ranking him with the likes of, let's say, the Unai Emery, the Pep Guardiolas of this world, because you want to call them world-class manager. You talk about those who have like 5 Champions Leagues.
Hold on.
I'm just saying in that class.
Okay.
The Carlo Ancelotti, the Pep Guardiola, then we're beginning to come to Zinedine Zidane, to De Mourinho, which we know you said is in the second class. Now, when you mention the second class, I want to ask you, Who are the people in the second class that you are putting Arteta into? Who are the people in the mix with him? I'm just going to do questions. Answer. Who are the other managers in the mix?
First of all, you can't.
Who are the managers in the mix?
You don't have. You don't have this right to ask me questions.
All right.
Make your point. Why do you feel?
All right. All right. Now. If I'm going to put Arteta in class, I'll put him in a class with Roberto De Zerbi of Brighton, who's currently at Marseille. If I'm right, I'll put him in the same class with Unai Emery, which actually is not fair for Unai Emery.
Unai Emery is bigger than him?
Unai Emery is above him.
Wow.
Reputation in football, everything. He's been to many clubs. He's done it. What Unai Emery did at Arsenal was what he came to lay claim on. Unai Emery was the one who led Arsenal to the final. I mean, the semi-final. He only came to play the semi-final and the final of the cup you were claiming. He won. You are here saying Arteta has a strong vision. But if you have a vision for 5 years, you've not been able to establish that vision. I don't know what that vision is. You are here telling me that Arteta is a manager who has done this, but considering the fact that he has spent most money than any manager Arsenal has ever had, is the only manager that has gotten the best support. He's been able to get the players he wants. He's been able to get everything. Edu came on board, gave him all the support he needed. Edu left him there. Why do you think Edu left? Why do you think Edu left Arsenal? Why do you think, if he believes in his vision, if he want to take another job? So he has gotten all this support, and what has he delivered? 2 Community Shield, Carabao Cup.
Well, what you're saying is he's the only one in the history of Arsenal after Arsene Wenger that can point anything and he gets it.
Finance, before you can call any manager top, you don't even say imagine. Top. He must have done something in the Euro. And he must have done something in it, at least the National League. His local league. He's not even known in the Premier League as far as delivering the silverware. So you want to be telling me that Mikel Arteta is a top manager for you because he's coaching Arsenal. And he's coaching Arsenal in his first year, which is the year he actually didn't build the squad. He didn't put the squad together. He actually dismantled the squad that was on the way of actually putting Arsenal together. Really? Don't tell me the squad Arsenal have today is as good as what they had when he came on board. They had Aubameyang, Lacazette, name this class player, but he couldn't handle those guys because he felt their ego is way above skills. So he went for players like Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, who grew up in the club, Odegaard. This is a guy he signed with a ridiculous amount of money. And what has he achieved for Arsenal with these players? Nothing. Bottle in. You're talking about Arsenal finishing second for how many years consistently? Tell me, in his time of finishing second, consider the opposition in the Premier League. Over the years in Premier League, we all know that Chelsea and Manchester United, who are regular competitors, have lost their ways. And so it's been between Manchester City and Liverpool. And all Arsenal does is just play substitute for them. So the year Manchester City is not away, Arsenal comes away. The year Liverpool is not away, Liverpool comes away. So tell me, if Chelsea and Man United were where they used to be, you will see Arsenal in this mix. No way we'll be making it to the Euros. There is no way. You want to talk about his vision in football? Tell me exactly what pattern of play has Arteta brought to Arsenal that is unique. This season, tiki-taka is their identity. This season, what is known for this season is set pieces. How far has that taken him? He couldn't even win the league. Now he's in contention with finishing. Maybe he will finish in the top 4 or top 5. It's still possible for him to finish out of top 5. So what am I saying is that if you call Arteta and imagine top class manager, I will agree with you. The same with the likes of Enzo Maresca, the same with the likes of the guy I'm talking about, Roberto De Zerbi, and other managers like that. Because these are the same guys that will do the same thing if they get the number of years and resources he's gotten on Arsenal.
So to you feel because he's gotten everything he
has 6 years.
6 years?
Over almost as we're speaking now, almost €1 billion. And he has spent, go check it, he has spent almost €1 billion. 6 years. And all he has delivered is 2 Community Shield and 1 Carabao Cup.
And you think that's why it should not be
and that is why, if you want to rank him there, then where did you put Unai Emery? Because Unai Emery is not world class.
Did you say 1 billion?
Almost 1 billion. That's what I said.
It's not close to 1 billion.
How much is it then?
It's not close to
how much? This is over 800.
His biggest signing. This
is over 800. Over 800. I still check the figure. Over 800 billion euros.
Let me.
He signed Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
For 60 million pounds.
Okay.
He signed at Odegaard. He signed what's it called? Timber. And Gabriel Jesus. And a lot of players like that.
Yeah.
Who today, look at them. Where are they in the team now?
You
Where's Gabriel Jesus in the
signed
team?
them, but you're not looking at their figures.
What's
I
the
mean,
figures?
Gabriel Jesus was signed for 45 million. Yeah. The highest number was Declan Rice. Yeah. Declan Rice was the highest, 105.
Okay.
Which we are seeing the result right now. And for you to come out to say that Unai Emery wasn't giving that support,
He wasn't.
he wasn't.
You
giving-
definitely knew that.
He wasn't.
He
Giving
wasn't given that
They
support.
signed-
The year they signed Aubameyang, it took them to lose a particular game that was very obvious. That even many of sport analysts were saying that game was meant to be lost, so that Arsenal will go on to sign that striker, because that time they were in the chase to sign Aubameyang and they were not taking it seriously. Arsenal had to lose a particular game that made it so clear that they needed a striker. But ask me, what has Arteta ever pointed out that he has not gotten?
Now, let me tell you some of the players that Unai Emery has signed. Do you remember Nicolas Pepe, 72 million? It was the highest.
And that's the only error you bring out of
the likes of Martinelli was signed by him.
Thank you.
Ceballos, David Luiz was signed by Unai Emery. If you've forgotten, so many players. Unai Emery signed about 9 to 10 players during his tenure as a coach of Arsenal. So if you come out to say that,
And what did he do with them?
He wasn't.
He was going all the way to win the FA Cup before you guys. I mean, don't say you guys. I know you're a Man United fan. Before he was actually fired, and he was fired, the same team delivered the FA Cup.
Now the thing is,
Answer that question.
Now
the same team
listen
he
to
signed
me.
delivered the major silverware
Listen
Arsenal
to
have today in the last 7 years.
Unai Emery has spent 3 years in Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, within the 3 years, no trophy to show for it. Now I want to just lay one claim. You said something about the likes of Aubameyang, Ozil, and all of these guys. You see, one of the main thing about top coaches is they make drastic decisions. The likes of Aubameyang, the likes of Ozil, they were not proving anything.
Really?
They were not doing anything.
You said the
They were not
that
doing anything.
Ozil,
At the latter stage of Unai Emery, they were not performing well.
You
That's
said
why
that.
you had to take them off. They were performing at as a Wenger. I mean, we saw a couple of times that the likes of Alexis Sanchez.
Since the days,
but at some point,
since the days of Sir Fabregas, there has never been an Arsenal team as great as Mesut Ozil, Aubameyang.
Now,
since the day of Fabregas, Van Persie, and Henry, there has never been. You want to compare those guys?
Now,
what they did to Arsenal compared to what the likes of Albert and Odegaard are doing now.
Where did they land in Europe? They didn't win anything.
And what has this team achieving for you?
I mean, within the short term.
Nothing.
Wait now.
Butlers
in the likes of
the league, of the Champions League.
You didn't allow
you now because you keep on going and it. You're not allowing me to speak. One question you not ask, and I want him to ask that question. I thought if allow Arteta a class manager, what class are you putting in? I've mentioned some. Allow me to lie. I want him to allow me to lie.
Okay, wait.
I need a rebuttal.
I'm trying to rebut it.
Okay, now let's
rebut the class of manager I put in.
We do it.
Now,
okay.
You talked about. I mean, there are certain points that I noted in what you have said. You understand? The likes of Mesut Ozil at the latter stage in the club, they were not performing well. With Unai Emery, they didn't do well
because they never get the support they needed.
What is support?
The team getting every signing. When you have a striker,
I'm talking about the players. I'm talking about players. I'm not talking about Unai Emery.
I'm talking about players here as well.
The likes of Ozil, they were not performing at all level.
That has never helped any manager like
they were not performing at top level. They did not qualify to the Champions League.
Edu came on board about the same time as Arteta.
But what I'm saying, those players that you're mentioning didn't achieve anything.
And many people,
when you say those players didn't achieve anything, it's like you are saying Mourinho didn't win anything with Tottenham. We know Mourinho for something, never lost the final. It was few days to the final of a cup. He was sacked by Tottenham. The very season he was supposed to land the trophy, he was fired. That same season, the same manager came with the same players, the same set of guys. Won the FA Cup. Who won the last FA Cup for Arsenal? It was the likes. It was the Aubameyang.
Allow me to talk.
You think Arsenal will have with like Kai Havertz?
The likes of Ozil, the likes of all of these guys. When did they land in the Champions League? Did they qualify with Unai Emery?
Or did they deliver the last silverware?
They didn't.
Did they deliver the last silverware?
It was Arteta that came and he won.
Don't say Arteta came. Who won? Who wins a tournament with 2 games?
Wait
Who does that?
He's saying,
you want to give out the
Daniel is saying,
listen,
is that the same set of players would have won it even without Arteta.
Unai Emery has the medal of that FA Cup. Unai Emery has the medal. Have we not for that FA Cup?
Are we not set with or without Arsenal? That team would have team.
That team would have.
Are we not seeing a team that will get defeated in the semi-finals and the final?
And that will be fair.
Arteta came on board without experience, and he won it.
And as Arteta has been close since then, if it was his doing, why has he not been close since then?
Has he not been close to doing what?
To doing the
close to winning the Premier League. Has he not been close?
What? How many seasons now?
Close. One point difference between
Raymond Star was close three years ago.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago. And this year they won it. That's what close means. You are not close for 3 years consistently.
I don't know close consistently. They will second. Close. I don't know right now second. I don't know right now second.
You don't know what you're doing. If you are close one and again and now, how many points is between Arsenal second and the 5th place?
Now let's see.
How many points is between the first place and 18 ridiculous points? And you're telling me they are close? Where? How many of is that?
See,
18 points away from me.
You have the first, you have the second.
Yes.
Now we don't have the second when it is 18 points.
We don't have the second. Other teams will come.
Finance.
What are you trying to say?
Okay, what are you trying to say? Where is the competition in the Premier League today? Competition is from the 2nd to the 6th.
Yes.
7th.
Champions League spot.
Champions League. That 18 points gap from 1st to 2nd.
The top five will qualify for Champions League.
Definitely.
Right now.
And that's where Arsenal belongs.
I don't know second.
That is where Arsenal belongs.
I don't know
they might not finish second. You know that.
They might not finish second. I don't know if they finish second. 2 games to go. I don't know currently second.
He's saying
I'm saying what is might. I don't know 2 games to go. But on the table.
If the race is 400 meter and the winner of the race won the race 10 seconds or 15 seconds before others. Now that is not fair.
Now
you can't call that.
Ever since Arteta has gone into Arsenal Football Club, he has been moving. He has been developing.
To where?
From 8
How did you define development?
From then he qualified for Champions League. The last time that he
Arsenal
finished 2021 was 2015. That was the last time. And they had the manager.
Arsenal will always
be the manager.
Now let me tell you this. One thing that would have happened to Arsenal if Unai had remained at Arsenal, at least
he had 3 years for all of these things,
and he's going to his 6th year or 7th year.
He had 3 years.
He's going to his 7th year. You know what happened with Arteta? You know what happened with Arteta? What happened with Arteta is what we call unfair in football.
How?
Number one, he came on board and a new sporting director was brought in for him.
Okay.
A sporting director that left him there. What did the man say when he left? He said he saw a vision and believed in.
Yeah.
What happened with the vision with Arteta? Because the man knew that this is a man that we can call naive, learning at the job. You said it right here.
Point. Wait, the man said he has vision.
Wait,
he has believed in it.
And ever since
I've never been vision. I've never been development.
When you say vision, you don't nurture a vision for 6 years. It's about the oldest manager in the Premier League after Guardiola now. After Guardiola, yes, it's about the oldest manager in the Premier League, and you are in the 2nd position with 18 points. What business are you doing in the 2nd position?
Now, one thing is, Pep Guardiola did not take that.
How many points between
allow him to talk? He's currently second. That's it. Okay. Well, let me last.
He's currently second.
Pep Guardiola in his first season did not win the Premier League. Yeah. In his second season, he didn't do.
Are you trying to bring him together?
So I'm not comparing both of them.
Because these are not even the same.
I am not comparing both of them. Will you allow me to talk?
The track you are setting is wrong. The other time I am trying to. It was actually disrespectful to actually say it's the same track.
I am not saying it's the same track.
With the likes of Ferguson. Because when Ferguson came to Manchester United, he built the team. He did not build the team. He didn't build the team. He didn't build Gabriel Jesus. He did not build Ryan Sterling. He did not build Kai Havertz. He did not build Odegaard. He did not build Odegaard. Odegaard was starting. Hello, Real Madrid. Odegaard was the star of Real Madrid. He was a star. It's like you call him a star. It's like taking him a star. He wasn't started. What about Aragula in Madrid today? If I take Aragula out of Madrid today and I bring him to Chelsea and I find that time is a startup, we not say it's not a star in Madrid, it's a potential. That's what he saw. I will not pay for him. Who pays $16 million? I will not even argue. Who pays £16 million for a player? I will not accept that. Okay, who pays £16 million? Who pays from the academy? I got from the academy. But why will Arsenal is known for not paying big money? Why will they pay that money? for Odegaard if it wasn't imagined.
Okay, are you saying because of the money they paid?
That's why he failed.
They knew it was a big boy.
See, no, they knew it was. They didn't make that man. They didn't make him.
With Daniel allowed to talk. Daniel is just around. Drop points. Yeah, your drop points in my area. Your points are anything. Allow me to talk.
Your points are weak.
Now let me talk.
You made them sound as if it's a point, but it's not point.
Let me hear what you want to say.
Yeah,
You keep on going around it.
Odegaard was 16. He started from the Real Madrid academy. Wasn't given a chance.
He was given a chance. He played 7 games.
Oh my God, 7 games.
It's just like Adagula today. It's just like Adagula. I said he played 7 games. I didn't say 7 games. 7 games.
Yeah, he said 7 games. Now he was 16, 17. He took him on loan. He used him, and he realized that this guy is not bad. The guy went back to Real Madrid. He still wasn't given a chance. He signed him to Arsenal Football Club. That is what we call development. How many of the players of Unai Emery still remains in Arsenal right now? How many of them? The likes of David Lewis. Where are they? Nicolas Pepe. Where are they?
What I'm telling you is,
where are they?
Sign a player for 45-50 million euros. If that player is not up there, how much do you sign?
If you see a potential, and you realize in Odegaard right now, Odegaard's market right now, Odegaard will be signed for more than 100 million right now. Has he not developed him? Has his market value not gone up? Is that not development?
And this Odegaard to talk about development and everything. What exactly is his stats right now in the Premier League?
He's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
When you say one of the best, above who and who?
Attacking midfielder.
Above who and who?
Right now,
It's not even above Bruno Fernandes that had a worst season. A bad season. It's not even above him.
See, I said it's one of the top.
When you say one of the top, it's not even above McAllister. Not even above Enzo Fernandez.
Right now in the Premier League.
Go check the stats. Go check
in the Premier League. You're talking about Odegaard as one of the best.
And we're talking about Odegaard. You're talking about Odegaard as a player who barely has.
You're comparing
who barely has 20.
Let's settle it at once.
Come on.
Now, Daniel doesn't believe
Arteta
it should be ranked among the top.
Yeah.
You believe it should be ranked.
Now, Mike, it should be imagined. Imagine top manager.
Let's bring some.
Don't give him a 6.
Let's bring in some perspective here.
Yeah. All right.
As a coach that has spent 6 years at the club and is here to win the Premier League, he just got knocked out of the.
He's here to win a major tournament, except the one he finished up.
Okay, you felt.
And he won the Carabao. Did he miss that one? Did he miss that? It's not part of the top.
Newcastle. Okay, should we call Andy Owe?
It's in England.
Should Newcastle manager Andy Owe be now top manager?
He's Carabao.
Andy Owe won the Carabao Cup now. Should we put him in the same class with Arteta?
And he's the top manager.
Oh, really?
Like that.
Oh, really? Now I know that. Now I know that.
With Newcastle,
the division of top manager is actually not good enough.
Okay, now listen. This is it. How many years do you think a coach can have before proving himself? He spent 6 years now.
Yeah.
How many years do you think a coach?
Now, first
because one of the points that Daniel is making is he spent 6 years and
6 years and almost €1 billion.
Let me land. Top managers in the last eras, the likes of Ferguson, the likes of Arsene Wenger, look at the long span before they were given chance to actually win trophies. I said it here that this man, what's his name? The Alex Ferguson. It took him 3 years, 6 months. You understand?
He built his team. Arteta is not building nothing.
Is he not building this team?
Every player in Arsenal was signed. I can say 80% from the back. Raya was signed.
Okay, let's go.
Gabriel. Saliba.
Now.
Let me go on for you. Let me go on for you. Let me go on for popular players. Ryan Giggs.
We're not doing well.
David Beckhams. Paul Scholes. These are boys raised by Sir Alex. Wait, call him Sir Alex Ferguson, not Ferguson. Alex Ferguson. He's a knighted, honorable person. Don't bring him in the same class.
I'm coming to ask you a question, but I wanted to finish up what I asked. How many years do we then give Arteta before he proves himself at the club?
He doesn't have a year.
The first contract.
Allow
me to land. He asked me a question.
Allowing you to talk.
You are not allowed. You are not allowing me.
Hold on.
Yes, you're not allowing me. You have your say. Yeah. The first contract he had was 3 years.
Okay.
He signed 3 years. Within the 3 years, he won 2 trophies. You understand? They decided to give him another contract. That's contract extension. And then they were not in the Champions League sport the first 3 years, but he won 2 major trophies. He won 2 major trophies in England. You understand? And ever since then, they gave him a contract, 3 years more. That's making it 6 years. So right now he's approaching his 6th contract. And what has he done? He did something that Arsenal had not done in 6 years.
Wow.
And that was qualifying for the Champions League. He qualified them to the Champions League.
Wow.
And he's been consistent as second.
A record one.
Yes. Because they've not qualified in almost 6 years. Is it not something to be proud about?
Manager, will you sign? Spent 800 million
every
6 years.
And now Emery took over. Qualified to the Champions League.
Unai Emery is in the Champions League spot right now with Aston Villa. What do you think he will do with Arsenal?
He now has 3 years to do that.
He's got
3 years to do that. He had 3 years to do that. He had 3 years to do that.
Unai Emery got 200 million investment. If we got a chairman, I mean, what we call sporting director,
he had very good players. He had the likes of
Bobola just said something now. That qualifying for the Champions League for the first time in 6 years.
In 6 years,
give him the
in Arsenal, you have to give him the flowers.
So the last time it happened says, when did you start giving someone a flower?
For qualifying for
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let me just say what I want to say.
But you remember what you said about
I was going to say something.
Forest.
If you qualify,
You remember what you said about
if you qualify for
Champions, it's your best for this season.
exactly because you qualify for the Champions League.
We're talking about Nottingham Forest. It's even ridiculous that we are trying to go that way.
Now let me tell you, if you want to go Nottingham Forest,
let me tell you,
twice.
Hello.
Nottingham Forest has won the Champions League twice.
You're talking about donkey years.
If you're referring to trophies, wouldn't it be in the
this is not about, if you're talking about heritage, then you should not make a big deal out of Arteta putting Arsenal after 3 years or 5 years into Champions League spot, not even Champions League final.
It's something that they did do for over
something they did not do, but
the manager never had experience.
Okay, here we go.
He came on board. They trusted him. In his business, and he qualified them to the Champions League. They had Henry. Did you say they didn't do that? He was the assistant manager.
Here we go. He's an assistant manager. But here you trying to say that. Here you trying to say he was with Manchester City.
As the club legend, you haven't let him come back. You haven't the team.
You haven't been able to accelerate it.
Okay, now listen, Daniel.
Liverpool fans will say something. Let me just say this. Liverpool fans will say something. He said he is the bridesmaid who never become a bride. That's the identity Arteta has brought to Arsenal. He's made them the bridesmaid that never becomes the bride. They always finish second, but never get there. And will they ever get there? Not when you finish 18 points behind.
Now, are you saying no matter what?
I won't give that man a top class manager.
I'm saying no matter what he has done, you don't see him as anything.
If he has gone all the way to Champions League, final,
I
said, wow, I'm impressed.
But he beat Real Madrid, don't man away.
He beat the Real Madrid that any team would have beaten this season. Where are they?
Would have beaten at their current second.
How many points in La Liga? We all know 7 points in the history of El Clasico. This season is the worst.
Definitely
for Real Madrid. We all know. Let me tell you. They have the best of players, right? Finest. The greatest they have seen.
Vinicius Junior.
Finest.
Finest. I don't say their history.
Finest. But right now they have the best of players you can actually have on your way to somewhere is to meet someone that is
this man right,
but because he had a reputation,
it wasn't possible for Arsenal side to defeat Real Madrid. He said that,
and that was because
no should have made it to ranking.
He defeated all the way. Yes, I was going to rank him twice. Let me say this to people at home. I was going to rank him. But you know why I didn't rank him?
Okay, why did you rank?
I said, wait, Madrid is not alright at the moment, but I'm going to rank Arteta.
Wait. I was going to find out. Liverpool that dropped. They got to the quarterfinals.
I was going to rank Arteta. I was going to rank Arteta. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to rank this guy. If he goes all the way to do something, what? I'm not sure about this Madrid. We all were not sure. Even themselves were sure.
We're not sure.
If he had been able to,
we're confidently saying that he had been able. You are confident. You confidently said that he had been able. Why you change him out? Why you change him out? You defeated him all the way.
Not even draw. PSG showed them what a team is. And now you're shifting where you belong.
We're talking about now you're shifting the
top manager. I will call him an emerging top manager. It doesn't have a seat at the top yet.
Development.
People will sit at the top. People with European titles. People with a national. People with a domestic title.
I don't know what
You have a domestic title. You don't have a domestic title. You have a European title. You call you top.
Okay.
What's top about that man?
Okay, guys, you can see, man, everyone is sweating.
Nothing is top.
It's getting hot here. It's getting hot here.
Top.
Let's begin to look at this way. I asked him a question earlier, and he said he would never rank him. He wanted to rank him before, but
He failed the test.
he changed his mind because he failed the test.
I can't give it to you because he won Real Madrid.
Bobola believes he's still a top coach. You should give it to him.
Chelsea.
You have to give him his flowers.
Yeah,
Manchester United right now will defeat that Real Madrid.
Okay, now let's.
I can bet my money on it.
Let's begin.
Manchester,
to
why would you give
The current Manchester United will defeat that Real Madrid.
come out to say
The current Chelsea will defeat this current Real Madrid.
Let's begin.
They go to the quarterfinals.
Name as far.
They go to the quarterfinals and you're coming out to say that they want the finals.
Okay, hold on.
Manchester United are in the Europa League and you're coming out to say Manchester United in the Europa League
Because they are a better
Champions League.
when they want to win.
We know that
Because they are a better team
Real Madrid
when they want to win.
Man City.
You have not answered my question.
Okay, now listen.
Finest, let him answer my question.
They don't defeat Man City.
Mention 3 managers who want to put Arteta side and side.
Hold on.
You can't do that.
No, hold on. Okay.
He is a top manager.
As we begin to wrap up, hold on. This is what I want us to wrap up with.
Yeah.
Daniel, if by next season Arteta doesn't win the league, what do you want? Do you want? Well, even this season, you once told me they should sack him. If you had the opportunity, you asked them to sack him.
I don't know why they should go forward with him. There is no headway.
You think they should sack him?
There is no headway.
So he can't give them more than what he has given?
Since Arsene Wenger, we haven't seen a manager who spent this long time in Arsenal. And what brought him this time?
How many managers have been after Arsene Wenger? Talk about that.
Will you let me land?
No, what I ask is this: we are wrapping
And
up.
Arsene Wenger, how many years was he keeping?
Do you know why he got the job?
How many years was Arsene Wenger?
All right,
How many years was he keeping?
What I ask is, we are wrapping up.
Why was
Not
he
even more than 10, 15 years.
Why? Sir, please.
And why? What did he win?
Why was it? How did he get the extra 3 years? Why was he given the 3 years? Because he won the FA Cup.
Who?
Arteta, right?
Wait.
Let me go.
Let me tell you.
Let me go.
You asked me a question now.
Okay, what?
The ranking from when Arteta took over has been moving up from 8. They went to qualify to 5th. They were 5th. They played in the Europa League, and ever since then they've been in the Champions League spot, and not just 3rd, not just 4th, 2nd position, and they've not left there. Even right now, they're still currently 2nd.
With 18 points.
Who now says that they're
away from the
They were in
the semi-finals of the Champions League, which is something that they've not done in the recent time. And now you people are talking. Daniel is talking about the fact that fine, he's gotten 2nd. He's been on that 2nd for a while. You have to give me his kudos. Hat off to him.
Okay.
Now,
Hat off,
big 2nd.
What then did you give to Bian Company going to Bayern Munich after relegating with Burnley? And now winning the Bundesliga.
I am not the one.
Do I call him a top manager?
I am not the one who signed.
Call him a top manager.
Remember that there were speculations.
What did you call him?
You remember that there were speculations
Right.
by Vincent Company. Yeah. How did he get the managerial position? People questioned it. I mean, we don't know why.
Did he not deliver? Did he not deliver?
In the first season, he didn't deliver.
In 1 minute.
He didn't deliver.
He didn't deliver.
Hold on.
In the 6th season. In the 5th season.
Has not been known for winning.
In 1 minute. In 1 minute.
Yeah.
We are going. In 1 minute. This is what I want. Daniel Bobola.
Yeah.
Agreed. You do not believe Arteta is a top class manager. So now, if you were to decide Arteta's fate, what would you do in just 30 seconds?
If I'm not an Arsenal fan,
If you were to decide,
if I'm an Arsenal owner,
if you were to decide his fate,
it's out already. It's out from this very first moment. He got kicked out of the Champions League.
Why?
For 2 reasons.
Okay.
Number 1,
in 10 seconds.
he doesn't have what it takes.
2.
Number 2, he's done his job, which is actually bringing the guys up to maturity. But he can't deliver.
You can't go beyond this.
He can't deliver.
A person, before I say that, a person that said he didn't develop players. Now he said he has taken the guys to what? Maturity. Now let's go.
Okay.
Now why I think Arteta should remain. Now there's what they call development, and ever since Arteta took the job of Arsenal Football Club,
6 years.
he's developed. Do you understand? They were not in the Champions League sport. You know, they were not in the Champions League for 8. They were not consistent. The last time they were in the Champions League sport, where they took 2nd, was Arsene Wenger. They took 2nd, and ever since then, You know what?
He always does.
They've not been.
Why do you do this?
They've not been in the sport. Now, as the Wenger came, they were 8th in that season. It took them to 5th.
What are you saying?
Second.
Why do you have to go way back?
Now, Wuna says they can't be first. If you can give the likes of Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson the chance, the long time to build a team, why can't Mikel Arteta do it?
But this generation, they do not give it that long anymore.
It's left to the management. If Arsenal Football Club decides that they want to give the fate of Arsenal Football Club to Arteta,
but
have you not done it? Have you not taken that into your
So in a nutshell, for you,
it should remain.
More than like how many years?
I don't know where. One thing is, one thing is based on contracts. You understand? In my own opinion, right now we are seeing the development. It should still be there for 2-3 years.
We've been seeing the development for 6 years.
Yes,
2-3 years. He feels this guy.
Well, I know the club he supports, so he doesn't know how to go to the top.
That's not an issue. All right, you've seen it. What do you make of all of these conversations, all of these arguments? Drop your comments and follow us on all our socials. Melody 107 FM. Melody 107 FM on all our socials. You will definitely get to see us there. Drop your comments. We would appreciate your comment. Thank you so much for joining in. Let me thank my guy.
Let me my guy all the time.
Thanks for coming.
He's got the top.
Oh, take it easy. Yeah, take it easy.
Hola. Thank you very much.
One love.
Thank you very much.
It's been very hard defending a team that play. Manager is not so easy to defend.
Let's keep the unity.
It's not better than
one
managers
one football.
Premier League.
One football, one word.
You talk about
right here. He's saying something. He said he's better than most of the managers in the Premier League.
Yes, now in the Premier League right now. Yeah.
Okay. That's
right now. Yes.
Do you think Enzo Maresca with 6 years he will be here?
Enzo Maresca.
We'll see you next time. My name is Pretty. Call me the finest. A big up to Marcos Garvey is the one behind the production. Of the executive producer is Eniola Folabi, the sports marshal. On the next episode of The Gladiators, we're coming yet with another thing. Join us and always tell somebody to tell somebody about Melody 100.7. See ya. Peace.